Hello, everyone. Welcome to Eugene Classic Podcast. Another day, a new episode to be born anew. Now, from the information you're going to glean from this authentic discussion, today I welcome Amanda Russell Boy.
Thank you. Thank you. Such an honor and pleasure to be here, Eugene. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast today.
And also, thank you very much for gifting us with your presence, Amanda.
Oh, anytime. Always help. Here to help.
Yes, and I would like to first of all ask a question before we even go on with our conversation. Are you working hard or hardly working with this AI boom?
Oh, man. Yeah. So I'm going to say working hard to get ahead of the AI boom. Because AI right now is just taking off at such a rapid pace that we really need to get ahead of the curve. Because right now, if we don't, we're going to be phased out. So I was actually just sharing with my daughter today that I'm going to sign us both up for an AI course so we can both start excelling in this, because that's the way the business is going. Like, technology is advancing so fast. So all the business owners, I always preach that to the business owners, like, we need to understand AI and start implementing it as part of our business structures.
And I'm not trying to kind of like doubt the possibilities of it or trying to kind of play any devil advocates, but this is the popular opinion of people out there. They see it to be more destructive than the beneficial aspect of it.
They're distracted with it. I think it's just lack of information, or maybe too much information. A lot of entrepreneurs, they're people of comfort. We like what we like. And now with AI here, it's funny enough, they're saying in Canada, for whatever reason, we're behind the eight ball when it comes to adopting AI into our business practices. So I think with that, they're just afraid that either they're going to be replaced, or, the jobs are going to phase out, and they're just afraid to embrace it. So this is where I challenge the entrepreneurs who are afraid to get in that space. I'm like, just take the time to understand it, start playing around with it. Utilizing it, and then seeing that it's just going to make them more efficient in their business, because business owners who are not adapting it into their business models will get phased out, and the competition is just going to surpass them like so far ahead. So it's unfortunate, but AI is here to stay. AI has been around, but now that it's more present, I think now is the time to really start understanding it and taking advantage to see how we can use this to make our businesses more impactful, really.
Okay. Another follow-up question. So during your flow and submission, you were like talking about entrepreneurs. To you, who is an entrepreneur?
For me, entrepreneur is anyone that has an idea, right? Anyone that's an idea that's taking action to implement it and bring it to market. So anyone that wants to make an impact or a difference in community, sharing product or service, anyone that's working for themselves, that's able to, create a legacy, to create that time freedom that they're looking to do. They don't want to be stuck in that corporate 9 to 5. I say we're all creative beings. So it's nice to be able to be in that entrepreneurial space, to be able to create. So I look at entrepreneurs as creators. Whoever isn't very faceted, there's so many different levels of entrepreneurship, but I would say it's an individual that's here to create a business to sustain and provide opportunities for more people too. That's why we need some more small business owners in our community, because they offer so much more employment, opportunity, services. And this is where I believe Canada, we need to help support more Canadian small business as well.
Okay, so there is this interconnected concept, but there is a clear distinction. I want to actually hear from you, your side on the differences between business and productivity.
Business, well, like in terms of, what do you mean? Like in business doing a small business, like entity versus like doing the actions? Because we could be busy, right, in business, but are we doing the productivity kind of work? So we always say, like, what are you doing as money-making activity? So we want to make sure that you're meeting with the people, making the contacts, sharing your story, and not just getting caught up in administrative work, which we all tend to do. I know a lot of new startups, we're in business, yes, but we're in administrative mode, right? So are we working in our business or working on our business? So it's two different things. So as an entrepreneur and small business owner, we do have to do both. But working on the business is saying, what are we doing to implement, to grow and scale our business, right? So what is the income producing activity, the IPAs, that we're doing to help make sure to advance? I always tell business owners, even myself, I'm a product of it too, where I get so caught up on the administrative side that I actually hired a VA now. So anything that I can automate and anything that I can touch to move and delegate to my VA now, I'd rather her do that, and then I focus on the IPA, the income producing activity, which would be like meeting people, having those connections, sharing our, like with the businesses I run, sharing our story and seeing how I could help people with the various resources that we offer.
So currently with the Canadian, one Canadian Act that is going to be interprovincial flow of businesses between other provinces, do you think that this act that has gained the royal assent is going to help the Canadian economy to bring increase in the GDP?
I think so. If we can create better communication across interprovincial, more businesses that can provide more opportunity, more resources, more support, that would definitely help remove some of the barriers that we're simply up against. And this is where small business community, they need that support. And, going through pandemic, unfortunately, so many small businesses did shut down. So we need the government to step in and give back support, whether it be like various funding, initiatives, education, resources. I'm also part of a program in the city of Mississauga where they're sharing like, what can we do now to help, support small business owners? And that was a common challenge, is like a lot of newcomers that come here that want to start business. There's just too much information. They just don't know where to go, and they don't know who are the proper resources and channels. So being able to open it now provincially and interprovincially, it'll just help with that communication. But I still believe there has to be a hub that we can tap into to help with like grants, funding, like event spaces, places that small business owners can plug into, and then sharing, our resources with each other. I think that would be so much more beneficial and definitely needed to help grow and scale this economy as well.
And I know that with your value system, there is this descendants, or descendants that starts from inspire, believe, and achieve.
Yes.
And I want to get your understanding of why you decided to let inspire come before believe.
I believe you have to be inspired. You have to have some source of inspiration, right? To be able to drive yourself, your passion, your purpose. And once you're inspired by whatever that thought might be, whatever your idea might be to bring to market, or just for yourself or community, then you truly have to believe in it. Because if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in your product, then how are you supposed to market it? How do you, not that I like to say sell, I just like to say share with people. So you truly need that belief in order for you to achieve it. So I believe it goes hand in hand. You have to be inspired, one, to do the action, believe in yourself, believe in the product or service that you're offering, and then take the action to achieve whatever results you're looking to attain, right? So it's a 3-step process, but it all comes from inspiration. You'll wake up from a dream and be like, man, that thing hit. Like, what should I do with this? How do I, make this a fruition? Like, you want to make it come to be. So, we have an app idea between me and my husband right now. We're like, man, okay, we have this idea. How do we bring it to term here? So it all starts with that idea, and then bringing the people together to make it happen. And then, and the belief.
And the belief, all right.
And the belief is the most important because, we live in a society where everything is questioned, right? So we have to truly believe, we have the power to achieve anything we want to in this world, really. But it's our doubts, our fears, or whatever that holds us back from attaining that.
So that's the reason why I asked you that between inspiration and belief, which one was supposed to come first with you?
I believe inspiration, because if I'm not inspired, then how do I believe, right? So I have to be inspired first and then truly be able to believe in what we're creating and what we're doing. So that is what's going to be most powerful in bringing all those pieces together. So you have to, I believe you have to start with inspiration.
Okay. So my apologies for interfering. A quick one. I want to now interject with this question.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think that one can get inspiration from a place of doubt?
That's a good question. I think so. Like, if you're doubting yourself, then you have to find that silver lining and like, what is it that you're doubting? What is it? Is it your belief? Is it the product? Is it service? If you think that people are not going to like, what you're trying to bring or whatever you're trying to accomplish. So you do need to have that doubt could inspire a new thought, right? So it's going through that whole thought process really to be able to uncover what is it that inspires you and what is it that's holding you back? What kind of doubts and fears are holding you back from moving forward? So, and hopefully somebody, maybe a conversation will inspire you to be like, no, take action on that because that is a good idea. And then you're like, yeah, what am I doing? Let's just get on that. Like every new product, any innovation, someone started with that belief that like, hey, you know what? I think this could work. Even like a cell phone case. Like I saw something so silly, like as the toothpaste where you squeeze out the toothpaste. I'm like, man, it's such a simple thing. It was like a little piece of plastic, and this guy made like probably millions of dollars. Our next thing is this Labubu doll, right? It's like, look, this guy made millions of dollars. My daughter, she's 9, but this is the industry thing. You make it like into a product where it's a surprise. And he went through his challenges, the founder, but look at him now, right? It's like the belief in the product. He just had a couple of different people come out later, like Rihanna and a couple other inspirational people to come out and share the product. And like Blackpink girl. And you just need a celebrity status, right? Once you have them out there and they're promoting your product, and now he's like a billionaire. He had this product for years on years. So, again, you had to come down to belief and inspiring people to do something different. And then here we are. So we want to create that $1 billion industry, whatever that's going to be.
Okay. So with this AI ecosystem, which keeps unfolding daily,
right?
And looking at the current Canadian economy, what do you think that should be done to make sure that there can be increase in productivity, to kind of increase from within?
I think first, like with Canada, we're a little bit behind. Like come to the US and like Silicon Valleys. Like I know we have our Waterloos, but there's still, whatever the reason is, small businesses are not adapting AI into their business. A very small percentage of businesses right now are really adopting it into their business practices. So I think it's really bringing the knowledge, just giving people the education, the tools to understand how they could utilize it, how they can use the prompts, right? To understand, like, it's so much more than prompting. Like, it's so much more just asking a question. Like, this thing is like your assistant, right? So if you really dive into the AI world and you can see, like, this thing can make us apps, right? So the app development, it takes away so much time that we had spent prior developing things, where now we can pop it into information and then we can surpass it in Excel even faster in developing products, services, creating. So I think this is just going to help businesses grow and scale faster. But they do need to integrate this into their business practice and understand the capabilities of the different AI tools that are out there. Because I know with my nonprofit Jelly Social, we're using AI right now to create your story. So we always say, every human, we have such an incredible story in us. So we want to know the human behind the business, like your mission, your vision, your why. What is it that drives you? We all have an incredible journey that we've all been on. So just being able to weave that into words, sometimes it's hard to articulate. Like I have the words in me, but I don't know how to put it out there. And this AI, I was just blown away. When I went into our little jelly bot, they prompt me, answered the questions, and it came out with such a powerful story that now I can make a real impact when I'm in rooms. I do a lot of networking. So when I share that story, they're like, wow, like you do some incredible things. Like, so that way people remember you, right? You're more memorable. And if you're looking for funding, whatever other opportunities, that's where it's going to bridge that gap as well. To be able to share that and make the people, notice you more and make it stand out, let's say, in the crowd there. So what's the differentiator, right? So we are that differentiator, but how are we telling our story? And that's what AI now is helping us do. And now we can create videos. Like I can just pop this story into our AI bots and it creates a magical video where it pulls out all the goodness, and you can see this cool automated video if you go to jellysocial.ca. And you can check out our animated videos where it's so powerful. Now we're sharing the stories of the entrepreneurs that we're connecting with. Sorry, long-winded, but that's what we do.
Yeah. I was about asking you on Jelly Social, and but before that, I want us to talk about like you being a director in GTA for LegalShield. When someone hears of LegalShield, it has been in existence for plus 50 years, an old company. What is the contribution that is making to the economy? And why do you think that their existence is so important that people need to know and hear of LegalShield in helping expand the Canadian economy?
Right. Well, I would say, legal services, like the legal industry, is such an old industry as well, right? Unfortunately, it is a system that majority of people have been priced out of. We know the wealthy, right? People who have money have access. And with LegalShield, now that we're here, we're really here to eliminate that barrier and level the playing field and make legal services affordable to the masses. So everybody can finally get access to their rights and not worry about how much it's going to cost them every time they have a question. So in the small business space, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, startups, and this is so powerful for them because now they're not having to worry how much it's going to cost them that they have a question. And we can actually, talk to the lawyer and be like, hey, lawyer, right now, what do I do? What are my rights? I'm starting a new business. How do I make an impact? How do I put the contracts in place? How do I, incorporate solopreneur? What do I do? People owe you money. So I think for the startups, it's very powerful just to be able to have that access. And unfortunately, it is a system majority are priced out of. So now small business owners have a way that they can grow and develop their business in a legal way where they move like the wealthy. So now we can establish our businesses, have that peace of mind. And with laws changing every day, especially with this new bill, new governments, so we just don't know what we don't know. And so legal help, especially affordable legal help, is so needed, especially when it comes to the small business industry. So this is where I believe LegalShield is going to be that differentiator and help businesses, grow and know that they're setting themselves up legally and sound and protecting themselves going forward. So it just gives them that empowerment, right? And then, you're developing a proper business structure this without any cracks. So this is where I love LegalShield. It's just helping empower the people. Access to their rights, access to respect, access to just their everyday questions, because we help with small business, families, individuals, and giving that peace of mind, right? We want to be postured. We want to feel secure. We want to feel heard. And now LegalShield is giving people back that legal muscle, if you may. We're giving back that voice that unfortunately, a lot of people didn't realize that we have that type of access. So this is where we're here to share that LegalShield is here to help people on their day-to-day, business decisions and personal life decisions. So that's why I believe it's going to be so powerful for so many people, because now they actually have affordable access.
Yeah, with your experience in the industry and people who are unable to access, legal, they are unable to access legal aid. Why do you think that they pocket their problems?
They pocket the problems because they just don't have the money, right? So a lot of people just, unfortunately, they're just like, I'd rather pocket the problem rather than pay the price. Because if they go to a typical lawyer, they charge $300-400 an hour. And this is where, unfortunately, if they're priced out, they just don't know what they don't know. And then it snowballs and then they have to go to court. And we want to avoid people going to court. So if they have access to their lawyer and they can say, hey, lawyer, this situation happened, what do I do? Before it snowballs out of control, now they have access. So that's where a lot of people, people are barely making $18 an hour out here. Lawyers charge over $400 an hour. So, the scales of justice, that's why we say the color of justice is not black or white, it's green. Unfortunately, the more money you have, the more access you have. And now LegalShield, we're changing that narrative. So people do look at this like a disruptive innovation. Because now the power of an app, right? We can tap the app, have access to our lawyer and be like, hey, lawyer, what are my rights? What do I do? So we literally have a law firm in the palm of our hands. And I think that is a game changer, especially with Amazon coming in. We shop differently, Spotify, we stream music. Now we're about to get access to the legal system. Now we can tap that app and then get access to our lawyer and not worry about how much it's going to cost you every time you have a question. So, and that's the power of what we do as a company here.
Yeah. And also, before we get to Jelly Social, I want us to look at Waterloo, the innovative powerhouse of Canada. Do you think that they aren't putting on innovative products and services well?
Oh,
Because do you think that they are not putting out innovative products and services well? That can actually bring back a lot of FDIs, that's a foreign direct investment here in Canada.
Well, I believe that we definitely need more innovation. We definitely need more funding in those spaces. There's so many entrepreneurs, I mean, in startup scale, have such incredible ideas, but the funding's simply not here. So they're struggling to take it to market, right? So they have to look for personal investors, angel investors. So if the government has more programs that can help, especially that innovation, I know there's different government programs people can, apply for. But again, it's the lack of knowledge and knowing how to fill out these grant applications just to help get your business off the ground, right? And that's where the resources are needed for grant writers to help them with implementing their strategy and helping them take that. So we need more innovation hubs to help them develop their business. And if we're able to develop more innovation hubs like that, I think this is where we're going to be able to help support more startups grow and scale their business much faster. And in turn, will create more employment, more opportunity, more production, more services that will be a game changer in today's industry. Because I know there are people out there with some great ideas. So now just taking it to market, it's going to change the game in terms of how we do things. So there's always people innovating, right?
Yeah, always innovating.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the inspiration behind Jelly Social?
So Jelly Social, so I'll backtrack a bit. So I was with the company LegalShield for 15 years. And when I came across LegalShield, my background being events and marketing, I was like, okay, this is cool. We throw parties for the people. I could put trade shows. But now, okay, how do I put networking, people in a room together? So with LegalShield, I'm how do I meet people? And so I said, go to networking events. So I went to every networking event out there. So I created We Can Network, and we're doing that now 14 years. We meet at different co-working spaces, coffee shops, have entrepreneurs in the room, share who they are, what they do. And then I met my co-founder, Sanjeet, and Sanjeet and I started Jelly Social. And it was just a play on words. People always why Jelly Social? They love the name. They want to know why Jelly. So I'm we decided with Jelly because we're all gelling together in a social environment. And we want to bring people together to say, hey, let's share services, expertise, resources, but take off the sales hat, put on the collaboration hat. So when you're in the room here, we're more sharing, right? About what do you need help with? Be vulnerable, ask for help. And that's how Jelly Social came to be. So we'd be in a room with glass walls, and we'd write down the different resources, different tools people are using, different sites, apps, whatever it might be. But it was just awesome because then so many people who were, especially startups and just getting into business, they're wow, this is amazing. Now I have different tools and resources I can start utilizing to help them grow. And now you have a network and a community of small business owners. We're all at different stages of our business. We're all going through the journey together. Right. But now we could share, what it is that we did and what we don't do. So those pitfalls, those learning. So hopefully you can learn a little bit faster, that learning curve. Right. So we don't go through the same pitfalls as well, but we can learn from those mentors, from books and the people that are doing the do. So this is where Jelly Social, we decided now to innovate again. And we're all about supporting BIPOC communities, so Black, Indigenous, people of color, allies, women, entrepreneurs. So that was our focus then. Still is now, but now with the storytelling aspect. So now we said, hey, we're going to actually, tonight is our story lab where you can come in, do our story lab. We'll help you create your story using our Jelly tools and our Jelly bot. And now we're all about how can we share the entrepreneurial story with our audience, with our network, because that's the social media land we live in, right? So now we've kind of evolved, let's say, throughout the years. So now with AI being here, we're adapting it and we're going all in with the AI as well.
All right. I understand perfectly that with AI, it's going to augment the storytelling way in the sense that the quality of the story will kind of increase. But don't you think that combining AI with people's personal story will kind of dilute the very essence of these stories?
No, I think it'll actually enhance. So I think with the AI, it again puts things in words that sometimes like some people are great at putting things into words. With me, that's not my thing. I don't know. I have the words, but I don't know how to articulate it. It's so powerful. But with AI, it could bring it all together. And we tell folks like even though we're using AI, go back to your story and put your own personal touch on it, so it doesn't sound so AI-ish, like so robotic, right? So we try to make it with that human feel. So you still have to go in and then put your personal touch on it to have your feels, your vibe on there. So that way you can still utilize your story. So people who created their story using our Jellybot go back in and they retweak it or they reprompt it to say, okay, make it sound a little bit more like this or that, like your personality, right? So I think that's only going to help enhance everything that we do if you know how to use the tools correctly. Is the other challenge, right? So it's just understanding how to use AI in the proper way that's going to help yourself advance. So I think right now people are more in a storytelling word frame, right? Our stories are so powerful that I find more and more people are trying to dive deeper into our stories and understand again, because technology is moving so rapidly, we want that human connection. So we still want to bring that back. It's like the Terminator, right? We know the Matrix is here, Terminator's coming. But we want to make sure that we're still having some kind of human connection on that level, but utilizing AI to help us build and grow and scale and use these systems that are here to support us. So,
All right. Because I was thinking about the human aspect of it.
Yes.
We not losing the human connection.
yes.
So that the person can own the story personally to themselves and tell it from their very essence, the within them.
Right.
So that like it will not be more inorganic,
Right.
but more organic. But from what you just explained, I've understood it perfectly.
Yes.
And also, I know that you are one person, sorry, that you are very passionate and driven on making sure that there is a level playing field in the marketplace.
Right.
Where does this drive comes from and what fuels it?
Oh, so funny enough, like back in the day, I wanted to do that. I was all like fight for the people kind of person. Like I hate seeing people taken advantage of. So I'd always like find a way to advocate. So when I went to university, I wanted to do a law degree, but when I saw how big those textbooks were and how expensive, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll do business administration instead. So I did go that route. And so when I came across LegalShield, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Now I don't have to be a lawyer per se. I'm a broker of lawyers. So I can help people now get affordable access. And I'm just really passionate about helping people, live their dream, like see them, whatever they put out there to the ether, right? It actually comes to be. And as a community aspect now, working together and seeing their idea come to life, I think that's so huge. That's so amazing. And to help be a part of that journey is so cool. So whether it be through LegalShield, helping to support the small business owner or the family, and now through community, like through the two networking groups I have, now we're helping to elevate their voices, connect them with community that's going to help them grow their business, make those connections, and hopefully foster new collaborations and opportunities to come their way. So that's what I'm very passionate about people. I think that's my thing. I love people. I love learning their story. I find like folks so fascinating because we're all on our own little journey here on this Earth School, right? We're all here to learn, grow, do. We all have a assignment, let's say, we're all sent here to accomplish, is what I believe anyway. So whatever it is, that we're here to achieve is just helping fuel that passion. And people who are like, I'm not too sure what I'm passionate about, just helping them find that, helping them connect them to people to be like, hey, man, find something that you're passionate about and like to go all in and see where you can take it, because that can make a difference in our world, right? So leaving your own little footprint, right?
All right. So how can one quickly get to know of their passion?
Their passion. So I think it comes to what's so funny. We have actually a passion hack that we do through Jelly Social, where we dive in. We're like, who are your mentors? Like, who do you look up to? And what are the characters? What are the qualities? What are the characters? We like really dive in and dive deep. And then what is it that you get gravitated to? And then we dive deep as to what it is that lights up your soul, right? That sets you like that fire where you're like excited to wake up and do that. I find like we all have something, but sometimes with so much distraction that we don't know. Like I know with a mom of two, it could be hard. I know a lot of moms, like, they get taken away and they don't know who they are anymore having children. Where I'm like, no, man, you are your own person at the end of the day. So what is it that fuels you? What is it that drives you? What is it that excites you? And then look into developing a business, a concept, a service, a charity, a nonprofit. Like there's so many, a social enterprise, but something that is going to be able to give back to society. Because I believe as, human on earth here, we have to give back on some way, some level, whatever that may be, I don't know. But we all have our own little purpose here to find, develop, and then fuel us. Because I think that's what truly keeps us all going, really.
So with thanks so much for this elaboration. With the 15 years of We Can networking and also Jelly Social, what 2 or 3 stories that was very impactful that you saw it from the ideation from let's say the concept to completion that had a positive impact on the society?
I would say with Jelly Social, from the creation, every entrepreneur that's come into our space, they're just blown away. They're like, oh my gosh, Amanda, Sanjeet, I am so thankful for this community, because they weren't sure how to promote themselves, how to put themselves out there. Public speaking is the number one fear out there, right? So coming into a room of people, and now they can share their business, share their idea, be felt supported, felt seen, felt heard. I think that's been huge. The biggest project we had with Jelly Social, we got funding from City of Toronto, and we did something called a Passion Rise Up event. So we did our own little film fest in Regent Park, and we featured 8 BIPOC entrepreneurs, filmed their story. We showcased it at Daniel Spectrum. And that's what pivoted us, because we saw it was received so well. And all the entrepreneurs that we interviewed, they were just blown away. They're like, thank you so much for capturing our story and now sharing it with community, because that's going to help drive their business, drive more exposure. And that made such a huge impact in the community of Regent Park for the small business owners that were involved. And that helped us pivot and realize the importance, I should say, of storytelling and making sure we're helping to capture each other's stories and sharing that now with our networks, our people, our communities. So that's been powerful with Jelly Social. And then for the small business through LegalShield, when I work with startups like yourself and seeing how you scale and grow and what you've been able to create, and now knowing that you have that type of legal protection that you can be like, hey, lawyer, I need advice on this, and that can help you feel more empowered to move forward with any business idea. I think that's really huge too. I had some incredible stories from different members where they're just so thankful, because if they didn't have this access, they would have been taken advantage of, not gotten back certain compensations on things, lost out on opportunities, protecting their families. My whole thing with small businesses too is putting wills in place. We're all here to create a legacy of some sort. So making sure people have wills done to take care of their family, their legacy, their wishes, if you may, put out there. So this is where I want to be able to help individuals, families, small businesses with all these various aspects. And now the community we've built is here to help them with achieving that.
So mostly, do you get people coming from the health industry trying to push their ideas through the process into the completion state?
Yes, I've met a lot of people, actually. A lot of health startups are coming up. I just met with 2 or 3 people that have new health tech startups, new ideas that they're putting out there. So it's just seeing, okay, how do we get this in place? What are the terms and conditions? How do they get the consultants? And this is going to help them understand their model, know what to do to protect them, one, legally, because I say a contract makes everybody transparent. So that way, if anyone comes back at you like, hey, man, we signed on that dotted line, this is what we all have in the contract. And that way it keeps business relationships good, solid. And that way, if anything gets challenged, you know that you have it in writing, right? So I think that's the most important. But a lot of health industries, coming out here, they're, tapping into community, I think is important. Finding out who they can work with. I know a lot of newcomers that have come here. And they're looking for a way to get the additional exposure and making these connections with various companies. And the power of networking will help achieve that. And then once you open that door and you can make that relationship, you never know what opportunity can arise from that, whether it be investing, funding, new collaborations, sponsorship, helping you get partners on board to help you grow and scale. So It's, whatever you're looking for, but all I believe comes down to community and networking as well.
Oh, that's great. So you talked about network. What you have been in the industry for very long, close to 2 decades, right?
I know, man.
Yeah. So what's the critical role network plays in entrepreneurship?
I think with networking is just finding communities that really resonate with you. So whether that be now that we have the online space, like my suggestion to new folks is to, hey, connect with at least one networking group a week minimum. To go out there and make the connections. Now we're really like getting back into live events. So because you can never, replace the in-person feel, the body, the energy that in the room. So this is awesome because I've done podcasts online. And so it's nice to be in a physical space that you can like see, feel, hear the person, So I think going to live events right now is awesome. Find a couple of different networking events in your area. Plug in, find ones that you like, and then keep going back because that's how people get to know you, like you, trust you, build and establish a relationship. And that's honestly how I grew my LegalShield business. I look at networking as like top funnel because I'm building and growing and developing relationships. So once you get to know me, you'll know all the stuff I do anyway. And then it's just a matter of helping them where they're at. So I'm all about education. First, educate the folks about what it is that we do, how we can help support them, and they could be your best referral partner. If they're not your ideal client, that's cool, but they know people that you may know. So I always tell folks, go to networking events, but don't go there to sell anybody in the room. Go there to build the connections, right? Because we got, back in the day, push the card. Nobody wants to be sold to anymore, right?
Yeah.
We want to build authentic, organic relationships. So when you go out there, be really interested in the other person. Ask a lot of questions to understand what the other person's doing and see how we can support each other. And that's the power really of networking and seeing what new collaborations you can foster and grow and see how we can support one another.
Okay. So Amanda, quick one. Looking at the GTA region and the inflow of newcomers, comparing to previous years and how immigration has shifted the landscape.
Right.
And most people aren't in support of that policy that brought in a lot of newcomers.
Right.
But do you think that this problem can be seen as a challenge that can be well understood and make sure that it becomes the betterment of the community than it being a curse?
I think it's a betterment for sure. I know, everybody has different opinions, but at the end of the day, I'm like, it's the new immigrants that are coming in that are doing the work that unfortunately, like the Canadian folks here have been here for years and years, they don't want to do. So they're doing the jobs that people just don't want to do, unfortunately. That's just what it is. But they come in here with a work ethic that they're like, hey, we're here to build for the family. We're here to build for the people. So you see the newcomers here, they'll start the jobs, they'll start the business, they'll provide for the families, they create for multi-generational. So I think with the newcomers, they bring their education, their inspiration, their motivation, like their work ethic to come out here, and they're willing to work, right? They go to work, they build, and they grow, and they develop so many new businesses that I believe it's like, we have to understand each other's industries. And that's what I love about Canada. It's a melting pot. And we have so many diverse cultures here that you could have any food, you can meet any different culture, like you could really understand and embrace one another. So I think that, it is helpful because I've got to meet so many different communities that can support, grow, and scale. And like my family being West Indian background, so my family's from Trinidad. But it's funny enough, I see with newcomers, depending on the ethnicity, right? So I would say with West Indian folks, as much as we're here to support each other, we don't really support on the level where like the African Nigerian community, so supportive. Like you guys come in here, you move as one, right? You're very supportive in the community, very active. Just connecting with Iranian organization, and they all very community-based, Filipino. Like I find they all like, as much as we're coming in together, but they work really well with each other. The Jewish community, I'm like, man, why can't we all come together? The West Indian community now, and really support each other to help each other rise versus having this competitiveness, like that crab barrel syndrome. So this is where it's newcomers now. You bring that new experience, right? You bring these new ideas. And I think that's going to be the growth that's going to help excel our communities. But working together now instead of the different silos is a challenge. So.
Yeah. But do you think that they are trying to create something new, novel, that will kind of like push the economy or shift the economy in a way that will increase quality in the system, not
Right.
just quantity?
I think so. I believe it will increase and help excel because with the new innovative ways, right, that we're all bringing to the table and bringing those new ideas to Canada, I think it'll only help create more opportunity. It'll help more businesses. It'll create new jobs, new employment, and seeing how we can really foster more growth, especially tapping into newcomers and then providing them with the resources that they need to understand, so the Canadian way, right? And then helping them get that and then put that into their business models. So this is where the various services are needed and having these resources to support that growth.
Okay. Thank you, Amanda.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you so
welcome.
much for this explanation and no clarification. But I want to ask you again, before we come to the close of this section. You have been in Canada for long.
Oh, like forever. Like,
Years for long. And right now, with the present PM,
right.
how do you see things going?
I don't know. When it comes to the politics and the people, at least he has the backing and coming from the banking industry to put forward. He has the relationships, hopefully in the U.S., so we can get better tariff and trade agreements better back in place. So I'm hoping that he will do a lot better than our last one did. But for me, I really am focused on my personal economy. So,
Wow.
We can't control the externals. We can't control what these politicians, whatever decisions they make out there. The only thing we can control is our own personal economy. So what can we do right now personally to grow, scale, make more money, right? For our business, for ourselves, for our community. So I am just focused on right now what I can control and the communities that I can help build and grow. So when it comes to the politics, it's just finding, learning how to play the game, right? So you know all the rules, you see what these people are putting in place, but now how can we use their policies and procedures, whatever they want to put out there to implement for us and adapt to help us excel. So as they say, we're all in this game of life. So we know how to understand the rules and know how to play it to our advantage. So.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the opportunity to kind of talk to the audience and give advice and recommendations of resources where they can connect to certain resources that can help them grow, transition, and transform, most especially to the newcomers, and how they can integrate economically into the Canadian system and add value to it.
Okay. Well, I would say for all the people out there, especially if you're coming here and you're new and you're trying to develop, so connect with the different networking groups. So find different communities. There are different groups on Meetup, Alignable, LinkedIn, Eventbrite. Go on the various platforms and search for groups that you can connect with and start making those relationships. Because that's I think the biggest move, exciting move, is coming to a new country. But if you're coming here and you don't know anybody, you have to rebuild this whole new community from scratch, right? So it's diving into other places and spaces like this where you can really connect with the people and understand, okay, what does the Canada landscape look like, right? What are the resources? Who do we need to be connected to? So making sure you have a good lawyer, a good accountant, right? Those are two, a financial professional, because those are three areas that we need to be able to build and grow and scale. So having that financial knowledge, that financial literacy, if you may, and then having a good accountant to help you get through, especially with small business things, and then the lawyer to help implement. So there's so many experts that we need to integrate into that. So I would say find your experts. Find the people, we all know what we know, but recruit your weakness, they say, right? So look for things that you're not strong enough. Look for the people that you can put as part of your team, if you may, to help you. Especially, I always tell folks, even if you have a job 9 to 5, that's cool, do the 9 to 5 thing, but work on your passion project. Have something, a small business that you're working towards, because God forbid, we don't know, jobs are not secure as they were back in the past. But if you have a business that you're working on the side, work harder in your business than I say do at your job, right? So that way you're growing something for you. You're creating something for you, your family going forward. And then find people that are like-minded. And that's why I think networking is so great. Because we're all on this journey. We've all been through a struggle. I think entrepreneurship is that roller coaster. There's great high points, great low points, but it's going up and down. But just stick with it. Don't quit. So whatever that you decide to do, just keep going. Don't quit. And really, find your tribe. Find your community that you can plug into. Go to the various resources. Make friends. Every day, make a new friend, right? And then see how you can grow. Because I'm so inspired by people and what they've accomplished. And then now I'm like, hey, man, how can we work together? Like, how can we do something that can bring the community? So I have another group that I work with, the Black Women Collective and Empowered for X. And we decided to come together, 3 women, come together, start the B2B collective in Brampton out of their co-working space. And we're like, this is a true community collaboration project where now we're like, hey, how can we implement the various resources, support? All of these women come with such incredible knowledge and expertise. And now we're bringing that to the table and like helping other people who are at different levels of business, life, or whatever. But I think, especially as a newcomer, that is the starting point. Start networking, building community, launch your business, excuse me, and then, grow and scale from there. And then just keep connecting and following up.
All right. Okay, so before we even finally end,
Yeah.
do you think that entrepreneurship is for everyone?
No, I don't think it is. You really have to we say entrepreneurs, we're crazy on a different level, right? Like we have like ideas that people like, we're always challenged. Like I know my family and friends are like, girl, you are a man in your head. Because I have so many things that I'm like, oh my gosh, we have so many great ideas and strategies we need to implement. But if we didn't have entrepreneurs, our society wouldn't be what we are. We wouldn't have small businesses. We wouldn't have small businesses. What supports our society, really and truly. So we need entrepreneurs to be the ones to challenge the norm, to recreate that path, right? We don't want to go on the beaten path. We want to create a new path. So this is where I love entrepreneurship because, we're really here to innovate, find different products. We always challenge the norm, find a better way to do things. And this is the power where I believe we need more small business, more entrepreneur, even our children. I'm like, we need to teach our children how to be little mini entrepreneurs and start feeling their passions and their purpose now and building a business that they can grow and scale later on. But showing them the importance, because that's not taught in schools. No one's teaching you entrepreneurship and networking at schools, financing, all that stuff. They teach us how to be employees, right? They teach us a system. We know how to go in, listen to the people, do the work. And so I think entrepreneurs, it's like, I don't know if it's in us. Like my dad, he's been entrepreneur for life. So we've been in every business, I think. So I think I have that entrepreneurial blood where, it was born or instilled in me. So I was born into entrepreneurship, you could say. So this is where we're here. But yeah, I think everybody, is not meant for everybody. Some people like the creatures of comfort, which is cool. We need those people too. So it's like, hey, we all have our purpose, right? So I think, but if you can start a business, go for it. Because really and truly, it's something that in their old age, that's something that you can still keep going because we can't just stop, right? As much as we retire, you still need something to be passionate about to still keep you active. So that you enjoy. But anyway. Yeah. That's a whole other tangent.
So, in your final submission concerning the advice and recommendation that you were given, you said something that you never know what AI is up to, right?
Right.
So, with your insight, I would like to know your foresight in the next 5-10 years. Do you think that AI is going to replace a lot of jobs? And what should entrepreneurs use AI? How should they use it?
It'll replace the jobs of people who can't show the critical thinking aspect, right? Like critical thinking, we still need to feed AI certain information to do what it does. So this is where it'll replace the jobs of people who, maybe they're not the critical thinker, not the critical thinkers, but it's not something that could be automated, let's say. Anything that could be automated, AI is going to come in and take over. So this is what you already see at the checkout lines, right? That we have like these different checkout things. But I think if you can still show value in a way that you can use AI to integrate into your business and that you're helping to utilize it to expand and excel your business, it won't take over. It might replace certain industries. But this is where, as like innovators, we have to find out how can you use AI to integrate into your business to help you advance, and that would be the scale, the game changer for you. So it depends on how we're making it work for us. But I think adapting to AI, finding how can you now utilize this to help you grow your business, but also shift it. Like as a real estate agent, oh man, I was sharing a story where he was able to use AI. And now he helped create different like marketing practices, selling practices, this whole everything that he's booming in business because of how he's integrated AI into his whole brand strategy. So even though AI is here, we really have to focus on our branding and our marketing. So because that is something where AI is going to help us excel as well. So I think right now, like Sase says, it's going to be a thing of the past. So right now we have to start thinking 2-3 years ahead. What is our brand? What is our marketing looking like, right? So we need to push and excel that forward to really use AI to our advantage, really.
Okay, Amanda, thank you so much for gifting us with your presence once again.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And enjoy the rest of the day.
No, thank you.
All
I
right.
appreciate
Thank
you guys.
you.
Thank you so much, Eugene, for this powerful podcast. I look forward to sharing it with everybody.
Yes, definitely. You need to share with almost everyone in your network on LinkedIn, every social media platform.
that'd
we
be
are
great.
here to actually go beyond the surface.
Yes. I like how you dive deep.
Yeah.
You get into it. So
Yes.
it's good to see.
Yes, embrace change.
Yeah, that is the key. I love that. That should be the tagline. Embrace change. Because
Yeah,
it's
embrace
coming. It's coming. It's here.
Yes.
So we don't embrace it. You're just going to get phased out.
Yes.
So.
And thanks also for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. Sorry I brought my little noisy kids here.
No,
but
don't worry.
this is where, we do mom and business. Mom and
Yes,
business.
okay.
So
Thank
we
you
make it
very
happen.
much.